The information provided on this show does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice. Instead, all information on this show is for general informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for legal advice, and we recommend viewers consult an attorney for specific legal matters.
Good morning and welcome to Condo Craze and HOA. Such a pleasure to be here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Karen Curtis, and we want to just tell you that we can't actually do this show without our wonderful sponsors, and our diamond sponsor is Best Roofing.
Yeah, good morning. I'm attorney Eric Glazer. I'm board certified by the Florida Bar in condominium and plane development law, and my law firm Glazer & Sachs. We represent condominium HOAs and unit owners throughout the entire state of Florida.
Yay!
Yes.
And let's get the phone lines going early. It's toll free. You can ask Eric any question that you have about your condo or HOA that's making you absolutely crazy. The number is 717-GLAZER with a Z8. That's 717-452-9378.
All right, so we have the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. Like, you can't believe it. Just the years just go as you get older. It's true what they say, right?
Oh,
the years go quicker.
it's like a blur.
Right. And before we get going, I just want to thank everybody, first of all, that showed up at the Orlando Condo Craze and HOA seminar last week. We had another great turnout, and that brings the 2025 season to a close just for a little while.
Are you
just
exhausted?
For a little, yeah, yes, I am exhausted.
I'll bet you are.
I was in.
That's why we didn't do a show last week, because you were like so tired.
Right. 6 cities in 6 weeks, so it was hard. It really was.
Wow,
And,
you're like a rock star.
Yes, but we're going to start up right after the Super Bowl again in February. That's how it works, basically. Super Bowl ends, and we go right into the season. And
now it's the law. You have to take it.
Now what's the law, right?
Because of you.
I know somebody who had a hand in that. But if you missed it this time around, don't worry about it. We'll be right back in about 2.5 months, I guess, at this point, right after the crazy election period that happens in condos, basically.
Okay, and then you must be certified by that time.
Yes.
And so we've got Thanksgiving just a couple of days away, and we just love on the show asking you, who are you thankful for? Are you thankful for anybody on your board?
They better be. I mean, come on, that's the least you can do.
Or, you know, who do you really want to give a big, wet, thankful kiss to?
Yeah, I mean, come on, they do work throughout the year, right?
Yeah,
but
for nothing.
For nothing, right? But before we get to them, I want to give thanks to a really very loyal listener, and I'll guarantee you she's actually watching the show this morning. And her name is Daniela Alvarez. And Daniela was at the Bradenton convention 2 weeks ago, and we wound up taking a picture together, by a booth. And the next day,
is that it? There it is.
There it is. All right, I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, and I see this really beautiful picture of the two of us pop up. And this is what she wrote on the LinkedIn site. Had the pleasure of meeting attorney Eric Glazer of the Condo Craze and HOAs podcast that I tune into every Sunday on YouTube. I'm one of his biggest fans. I've learned so much from his insights on condo law and association management. Such a great experience meeting someone whose work has been so informative and inspiring.
Thank you, Daniela.
Now, that is one of the nicest things anyone has ever said about me. I mean that, Daniela.
In writing, no less.
Yes, right. And you should know that it's the other way around as well. Loyal viewers like you guys are the ones that inspire me week in and week out. And I say thank you to all of you, as well as to my incredibly talented coworkers on this show, Karen and Robert. Thank you guys for
especially
showing
Robert.
up week
that.
after week. Yes, so you did an amazing job this year, Robert. That's
I love it.
And you guys really make Sunday fun and enjoyable for me, and I appreciate it. By the way, what was also great about Daniela's post was that she got, I don't know, like 50, 70 likes, something like that.
Oh, wow.
And you know who they were all by? other community association managers.
Very nice.
So I am so flattered by that. You don't
Should
know
be.
how warm
You
that made me
should
feel
be.
inside. So guys, to all of you, have a great, wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wonderful. So, whether you love your board or you're frustrated with the board, the reality is that they give countless hours, accept personal responsibility, and shoulder legal duties that most owners never see.
Very true. So what do? Right? They operate multi-million-dollar corporations, if you think about it, with no salary, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them come on, they're not attorneys, right? They're not accountants. They give it a shot, right? They
They're
try.
just control freaks.
That's what some people would say, right? But they do this, like you say, for no salary. They spend time working on your budget. They review bids. That they deal with emergency meetings and emergencies that happen in the community, flooding, all types of things like that. They go to your mediations. They deal with all your vendors. Now they have to take educational classes every year, right?
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. And continuing education. After they're all they go through, the bottom line is, throughout the year, many receive more criticism than they do thanks.
Because
We
we're
know
talking
that.
about money.
Yes.
When money's injected and money's involved,
Yep.
you're going to be critical because
Yes.
these people don't know what they're doing.
And they know, what do people know that live there? They know that, well, our assessments went up again this year and up again. It's not the fault of your board. Things go up, right? Every single year, like
Yeah.
insurance goes up.
COLA.
The cost of your security goes up.
That's
the cost of your management company goes up. And by the way, that's a whole other
But
topic we're gonna
condos are
wind
the
up
only
doing.
ones where it wasn't going up, and that therein lies the rub.
Yes, well,
Right?
and since the collapse, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in Champlain Towers, it wasn't going up because
Right.
you were able to waive reserves, but it ain't happening.
That ain't
anymore.
happening
So
anymore. So,
you can't blame your board, is what I'm saying, for what's happening.
no,
Yeah, it's not their fault.
that's right. And, they also have to comply with the law.
Yep.
Hello. They owe each owner a fiduciary duty, which is important. They face personal exposure when they breach those duties,
Yeah.
and they can be sued.
Yep.
Yes, you can be sued. And they have the pressure of milestone inspections, reserves, and compliance deadlines,
As we were
which
saying, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
which is very onerous. And they get heat from both owners and the DBPR if they're in a condo. HOA not so much, but there's a lawmaker in the state of Florida that's now saying,
Yes,
wait
Boris,
a minute,
yes.
HOAs they don't have any kind of board out or
Yes,
DBPR.
and he wants to abolish them. By the way, we got to get Representative Porras on the show. Somebody who wants to abolish HOAs. We need to put him through some questioning in that regard. I don't know if our listeners agree with that.
Abolish
100%.
HOAs.
Yes, wants to totally abolish HOAs, but that's for another
What does
show.
that look like?
In other words, you grew up as a kid on a street with
Yeah,
houses.
you take
right?
care of your own house.
Yes, just no more HOAs. We're going to build you a house. Take care of your house. That's what he's saying. Let's go back to. So
I don't know if I mind that.
kind of a more neighborhood type feeling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Tree-lined streets. You picture that.
yeah.
Where just everybody lived in their own house.
Yeah, and
But
there was always
there's
this healthy competition between who has the brightest lawn.
Right.
Like the Webbers always
Right.
had nitrogen, then
Right.
their lawn was like
Not
right
everything
ring.
looks the same.
No, right.
Everybody does not live in a cookie cutter house.
But is it gated?
No, probably not gated, right? And the theory, I know we're way off topic. here,
Sorry.
but it's okay. But the theory of the HOA being, well, not everybody can afford a swimming pool in your own home, so at least we're going to build one that the community can share. We're going to build amenities, and we're going
Well,
to
we
divide
had
the
that.
cost.
It was just a pool that was the community pool.
in a regular neighborhood.
Yeah,
That was owned by the city.
yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
the city could do that.
Yeah.
That's how it was way back when in New York as well. Same thing. And go back to the directors. What do owners generally not see about their directors? What are they working on at night? They're sending late night emails to each other, right? They're sending it to the owners. They're trying to take care of business at night when everybody else is watching Netflix. And right, and they're getting involved in conflicts between neighbors. They're trying to solve them, right? Trying to being a peacekeeping force. They got to deal with emergency repairs that require immediate action oftentimes, right? They fight with the vendors. And there's just that emotional stress of also being the face of the community. They got a lot of work to do,
But then on the other side, there's people that will say their directors are, targeting them and they hate them and they're just, isolating them only. And
let me tell you, and I say this, all the time. There's always bad apples in every bunch. There's bad lawyers. There's bad doctors. There's bad cops. Yeah, are there going to be a few bad board members? Of course there are. Do I think as a group they're worse than any other type of profession? Honest to God, I don't see it. I'm not just
Power
saying.
and money.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Can
So
corrupt any profession.
that exactly.
Right.
So is there any board member that you're very thankful for? And if so, is there a specific director who deserves public recognition?
Yeah, how
This
about
is
we
your
do
forum.
that on the show? Exactly. So how about this? If you're a director, what would you like to be thanked for? What's the one thing that you wish owners understood about what you do, about your job? And if you're an owner, how about calling in and tell us one thing that your board did this year that you are thankful for? Okay, fair enough? Come on, it's a special day just before the holidays. You can do it.
You can
do it.
You can be thankful.
Yes, so give us a call here in the studio, 717-GLAZER-8. Again, that's 717-GLAZER-8, 717-452-9378, or drop us a comment or a question in the chat box on YouTube. We'll be back right after this.
There are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies. And I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back of the house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
Feeling overwhelmed by repairs, renovations, or big construction projects? You weren't meant to do this alone, and you don't have to. At HCMC, we take the stress off your shoulders and guide your community every step of the way. We bring everyone to the table, owners, contractors, architects, engineers, and make sure every penny spent is done responsibly. Led by Sam Hodge, 40-year expert in construction, we manage everything from design to closeout. No more guesswork. Just expert guidance you can trust. Take control of your project today. Visit hodgecmc.com or call 954-805-5235.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell and give us a great comment. We'd love you to do that. And also, who are you thankful for? Are you thankful for anyone on your board as we approach Thanksgiving?
Lot of nice, thankful comments to us. Really appreciate it. Swen Johnson writes in, fantastic show, informative, entertaining. Keep up the great work of every board member and owner. Listen to these shows. 99% of disputes would be resolved before costly legal action.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Like that
but
case-
I want costly legal. No, I'm joking. I don't want.
the case that I sent you with the little white cross in the
Great,
yard
great.
ended up being a $70,000
Right.
win for the
For
homeowner
the
who
homeowner,
had the
right.
little cross.
Put a little cross in their plant
Right.
in the front of their house.
I mean, little, like
tiny,
this big.
tiny, tiny. Wound up going to litigation for years. The association wound up paying $70,000 in damages, plus like hundreds of thousands in attorney's fees. Right.
Right.
Just insane. Who else writes in? I love your show. Vidal writes in, love your show. Sorry we missed you last week. Hope all is well with you and everyone. Thank you so much. Tammy Lettieri writes in, thankful for Glazer and Sachs helping us get through our wind mitigation upgrades and re-roofing. That is so nice. All right, how about we take our first call, Ro?
Let's do it. The first caller didn't leave their name, but when you hear a beep, you are live.
It's anonymous.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric and Karen.
Hey, good morning.
So the board members you were describing earlier, I felt like they're like Santa Claus, fictional characters that we love to believe in but never see.
Really? It's that bad?
Is it that bad in your condo?
Wow.
So I'm thankful, definitely thankful for a God-given gift of discernment so that I could tell a carrot from a crap. My question is...
Wait a minute. Hold on. But suppose your board wasn't the board, right? How many people you got on your board?
7.
Okay. Now, so that's a lot of people volunteering. Suppose they weren't volunteering. Suppose people didn't want to step up to the plate and volunteer. What do? You got to thank God that's, some people want to volunteer. No? You're not thankful for some of them on the board?
No. They actually usurp the board because they're doing all kinds of shenanigans and they keep their position so that nobody else will replace them and uncover it.
7 out
They
of 7?
hire the most incompetent property manager who actually works with them. No, this is a bad situation. I'm sure this is not pervasive or like 100%, but this situation is really crappy.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to ask you, right? Hold on. You know what I'm going to ask you or any other caller that comes in and, talks that way about the board. Have you ever volunteered? Have you ever tried to run?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I've been on the board, and these people displaced me because I uncovered their garbage. I've been on the city committees. Yes, I volunteered.
Got
so did a lot of people in my community.
Okay.
No, this is not a question of a lack of desire. This is a question of trying to displace the bad apple. Anyway, the question is, when you have a situation like that, my understanding is that the law actually has a method of the owners, without being on the board, being able to make adjustment to the governing documents and the rules and regulations. The objective is to improve the accountability of the board and transparency.
Okay.
I think the process is you file a petition, you need a certain percentage, and those things have to be voted on. So my question to you, would you be able to give me a step-by-step what needs to be done?
Okay, so if you want something on an agenda and the board won't put it on the agenda, so there is a procedure where if you get 20% of the people to sign a petition to put something on the agenda, the board has to put that on the agenda within the next 60 days. Okay? Now, you mentioned something about the unit owners being allowed to change rules. The unit owners are not allowed to change rules. This applies for both a condo and an HOA. Only the board of directors has the authority to make rules, and it's typically rules regarding the common areas. But what you can do, excuse me, and you got to look at what your governing documents say, excuse me, and the unit owners may be able to amend your governing documents without the help of the board of directors.
Really?
Right.
Oh.
Because sometimes it just says the unit owners can amend the governing documents, right? If they get 2/3 or 3/4 of the vote.
That's like amending constitutions in Florida.
In states, right?
Yeah.
2/3 typically,
Same idea.
So you can do that unless sometimes it says, well, a certain percentage of the board vote is needed. But most often it's not needed. It's typically 2/3 or 3/4 of the owners. So if you can follow your documents, follow the procedure for calling a unit owners meeting, and at that meeting, if you did in fact wind up with the 2/3 vote that you needed for passing amendments to your declaration, and people voted by proxy, and the proposed amendments were drafted properly. In other words, if you got the unit owners together and perhaps hired an attorney to do it the right way, and at that meeting you got the right vote, to me, then you don't need the help of the board. The unit owners can do it on their own. Okay?
Awesome.
Julia,
Thank you.
I thank you for being a loyal listener throughout the year. Okay? Thank you so much for calling in.
And I love you guys. You're so
Love
wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Who else we got, Rob?
Oh,
Let's go to Patrick.
Patrick, how are you?
Sarasota.
How are you, Patrick?
Sarasota's beautiful.
Oh, it is. Patrick, you there? Going 3, 2, 1. Call back, Patrick. Who else we got?
Hang on 1 second.
All right.
You are connected as the host.
It said that he was.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Don't
The-
know. What.
Audio recording is on.
Okay.
Dual channel.
Sorry about this.
That's all right. So let's do this. Let's go back to the board for a second until we figure it out.
Okay, I think we got it.
All right.
Patrick,
Who
you
do we
there?
got? Patrick, you there?
Yeah, hi, I'm a regular caller, and you keep me away from church every week, and I thank you for that.
So I guess we're going to hell. You and
No.
yeah, right?
No, not you. You're going to heaven.
No.
Quick question. I have kind of a crazy condominium association, and I'm one of those people that are very colorful and speak my mind.
Mhm.
The last time I tried going to a board meeting, the management company locked me out of the building, and they said I can't enter into the board meeting.
Are you an
And
owner?
I thought
You're an owner?
I'm a former owner. I gave the house to my son, who's in the Coast Guard, so I was attending on his
I
behalf
see.
Okay.
because, of course, he can't be there.
Well, either can you.
Oh.
So if you're not an owner anymore, right? I'm saying that respectfully.
Right.
Are you still in the
Yeah.
deed?
I'm sorry.
Are you on the deed? Is your name on the deed?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
no,
that's it, you know.
It was a gift to my son.
Yeah. So you don't have any more right to attend that meeting than I would have a right to attend that meeting. Only the statute
what
is
if,
clear.
what if my
Only owners
wife's
have a
on the
right.
deed?
I'm sorry.
What if my wife's on the deed?
If your wife was on the deed, then your wife would be able to attend. Now,
Oh,
perhaps,
okay.
perhaps maybe you would be able to attend the meeting if your son gave you a power of attorney to attend.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Then I think you'd probably be able to attend the meeting. I'd have to research it, but
What did you quit
I
claim
think I'm
deed
right.
it to him?
My son gave written permission for me to go there on his behalf to the management company, so it wasn't a surprise.
Well,
It's
there's
Doesn't
the
matter.
difference between giving you written permission and giving you a power of attorney. That's
Oh,
different.
okay.
So if he gave you a power of attorney to attend these meetings for him, then I think you'd have a right. I'd have to research it to be sure,
That's
but I
an
think I'm
interesting
right.
question.
Yeah, but without a power of attorney, you definitely can't do it because the meetings are
Oh,
only
okay.
open
Well-
to owners.
Well, thank you guys very, very much, and I'm always grateful to you, and thanks for helping all the people.
Thank you so
do.
much. Appreciate
And
that.
here he
call.
thought it was because he was a colorful person.
Yes.
It's just that he's not on the deed.
So what do you think, Karen? Are we going to get a call today from people who say, I am thankful for my board? Come on, somebody.
Come on.
Somebody. We should have like an over
I'm
under.
thankful
The
for
over
you.
and under is 2. Right? That's it. 2. All right. Diane writes in, Diane Vita. We have a no dog, no cat declaration for our condo association.
And everyone's got one.
We amended our declaration to allow registered and licensed service dogs only.
Mm-hmm.
So someone wrote to want to know what the difference is. Oh, she wrote in. Is there a difference between registered and licensed service dogs? So I don't know what a registered dog is. There's service dogs and emotional support animals. Yes, there's a difference between those two. Service animal is what you think it is. The one that you think of as a service animal that should come to mind right away is a service animal for a blind person.
And
right?
that's going to have all
Right.
kinds of
Training.
training
Right,
and licensing and
exactly,
whatever.
right. And so that animal you better not ever
Emotional support animal,
prevent.
not so much.
Yeah, right. But you better not ever prevent a service animal from coming into your condominium. As a matter of fact, even like Publix, for example, will have a sign outside now that says something like, your service animal is welcome here. Your emotional support animal, not so much, right? Don't bring him in here. So, and a service animal can only be a dog or a small horse. Okay? Yes. So I haven't yet seen a small horse in the in the cereal aisle of Publix yet, but eventually, we're probably going to see it because that's what you're allowed.
Probably in the vegetable aisle going after.
Dum-dum.
Off to the carrots.
That was pretty good. That's what a service animal is, right? Specific training to help somebody with their
small horse.
disability. Right. Now, the difference with an emotional support animal requires no training whatsoever.
Just a note
right?
from some doctor on the internet.
It could be, they're technically not allowed anymore under Florida law.
Really?
Yeah, the doctor has to have personal knowledge, has to have seen the patient, I think, at least once. So they've clamped down on that a little bit in the state of Florida. But still, the bottom line is if you get a note from a doctor that says this person suffers from, emotional disability and the animal helps that person with that disability, and that person's disability involves a major life function, such as eating, sleeping, working. They have a problem with any one of those, and this animal helps in that regard, then that person is allowed to keep it in their condominium unit. And again, it's not limited to a horse or a dog. It can be a Thanksgiving turkey, for example. Keeping a live one as an emotional support animal in your condominium unit. Now, that would be perfectly legal. So you keep them till Wednesday. You chop them up and put them in the oven on Thursday. Perfectly legal. Okay? Back to the phones. You get a new one on Friday.
Get a new one.
All right, another no name. But if you hear the beep, you are live.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How can we help?
I'm calling to ask a question. My board consists of 5 board members, and only 3 have the required certificate. And the president is claiming it only requires 3 to have the certificate.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
God.
Yeah, well,
Can you imagine?
that president is wrong. All 5 are required to be certified. Maybe that the president is thinking, those 3
Are required.
are allowed to serve on the board, but if they're already on the board for 90 days and they don't have it, well, automatically they're off the
other
board.
2 are
Those
off.
2 are off the board.
So
and
maybe
there's
they
nothing
have
else
like
to
a
do.
range. You can have 3 to 7, and they've got 5. So these 3 definitely need to.
But if they're on the board, if he thinks they're on the board and they're there for 90 days and they haven't been certified, so I'm telling you, and you can tell him, they are off the board and they're not coming back on the board until they in fact get certified by taking that educational class. Okay. So he's wrong. It's not 3 out of the 5 that have to be certified.
They all do.
Yeah. Everybody has to be certified.
And you're off till you do get certified.
I sent him an email, and he sent back to me that they're not required.
Well,
And the next thing, for 7 years now, with our budget, they sent out the letter for the 4th of December, and on to today, there's nothing on the bulletin board.
well, I don't know if they're
There's
required to
some-
put something on a bulletin board or not, because I don't know if there's any meetings coming up. But let me tell you, I'll say this. I went to a condominium in Fort Lauderdale last night. Actually in Tamarack, I should say. And, we think of posting notices on a bulletin board behind like a piece of glass,
Yeah.
the old fashioned, it's the same bulletin board for 1,000
Yeah.
years that everybody's using. This particular condo, and it's Lime Bay in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, shout out to Lime Bay. And they bought an incredibly large, like a 70-inch TV that they put, and they covered it so it's weatherproof. And it's incredible. They put all the notices for the condo on a flashing screen, like on a TV. And it's constantly changing. Rob, you'd love something like that.
Oh my gosh.
It is beautiful. So much nicer than putting something behind just glass.
It's so 2025.
Right. This is 2025. This is awesome.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to go.
I
Really,
think-
really thought that was fantastic.
I think this colors board of directors or the president
Yes.
hasn't taken your course.
It
Must have just signed the affidavit and maybe just
could
logged
be,
on to the
right,
DBPR and
could
didn't
be,
even pay attention.
But they are wrong, okay? So you can tell them that you heard it here. Sit down with the president, tell him to watch this show
That's
for
right.
a
Please,
few
tell
minutes
your
and
friends.
straighten him out, okay? Like you're trying to do, okay? And you can report is it a condo or an HOA?
Condo.
Condo. You can report them to the DBPR, and the DBPR is going to certainly tell him that he's wrong. That I can assure you, okay?
I did, and they said because I have a pending case, I cannot make a report.
I don't know why. So I don't know. Let somebody else make the report. But the bottom line is just tell him that he's wrong. You spoke to an attorney about it. Show him this particular show, and then go from there. Okay?
Since
I wish you a happy and a healthy Thanksgiving.
I've never heard of the DBPR saying you can't have
Nothing
more than.
like time for
I
doing
haven't heard
such.
that either. I'm sorry, ma'am.
I just dropped.
Oh, okay. I think she was trying to say thank you, actually. And thank you to her for calling in. All right, let's take our bottom of the hour break. 717-452-9378. 717-452-9378. Who's going to be the first caller to call in and say something nice about your board? It's going to be very disappointing if by the end of the show, no one's done it.
Well, your over-under's 2, so
yeah, the
it's really
over-under's
not
2.
that big of a
We'll be back right after this.
hurdle.
In South Florida, the transition from bright sunshine to heavy rain and hurricanes can take a toll on your property's exterior and structural integrity. Cracked stucco, spalled concrete, they're more than eyesores. They can signal deeper issues. Now, with new Florida laws involving structural integrity requirements, we want to help you meet your milestone inspections and maintain the durability and beauty of your building. Since 2004, PD has been the trusted expert in structural concrete restoration, painting, and waterproofing for condominiums and commercial properties. Visit pd-concrete.com or call us today.
All over the world, people have plumbing problems. These problems can be expensive and destructive to fix. Have you ever wondered if there was a way to take care of your plumbing problems without destruction and an outrageous price tag? Welcome to Pipelining Technologies, Inc., where we specialize in fixing your problems without demolition and minimum cutting by means of pipelining. Pipelining is the ability to take a pipe damaged by root intrusion or long-term deterioration and make it new. By means of inserting an epoxy-saturated liner into the pipe and allowing it to harden or cure, leaving behind a brand new pipe.
That sounds great. How can I get pipelining in my home, commercial building, or condominium?
Simply fill out our online contact form and a pipelining representative will get in touch with you in a timely fashion. Or call us directly at 561-853-5463.
And welcome back to the second half hour of Condo Craze and HOAs. Thanks for joining us today on this Sunday. We want to thank our gold sponsors as well, Affinity Management and also Hodge.
Construction management.
Construction Management. I couldn't read my own writing. It's HCMC. And we're asking you to let us know who you're thankful for on your board.
Absolutely. And we're thankful for all our sponsors, actually.
Oh, we are.
Every single one.
They've
People
been
have
with us forever.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
All right. The phones are blowing up, Robert tells me. So how about we go back to them, Rob?
Let's do it. Our next caller looks like Celine. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. Hi, Eric.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, guys. I'm Celine from Aventura, Florida.
Nice.
And I live in a condominium, and the current board scheduled the 2026 budget meeting at noon, which never happened because everybody worked, and it was always at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.
Yeah.
But she sent the notice 14 days before the meeting.
Right.
Nobody pay attention of the time, and nobody show up. And the 4 board member didn't even come at the clubhouse where all the board meetings are held. They did it on Zoom.
Yes.
And nobody show up because we show up at 6 o'clock thinking that it was at 6 as usual.
Yeah.
But noon, you could show up at lunch.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
so the answer is, as long as it was noticed properly, you know, they didn't surprise you. They didn't set it for 6 o'clock and then, you know, cheat and do it at noon. They set it for noon, and they noticed it 14 days in advance.
Ours is always 10 a.m. Who can do that?
Right, but maybe yours is more of a retirement
55
community.
and over.
Right. But I don't know if Celine's is actually a retirement community. Doesn't sound like it is. But, you know, the bottom line is they did nothing wrong. And as long as we're on the topic, just really quick as we head into the end of the year, brand new statute that says if your budget went up by 15%, man, it gets very, very complicated at this point. You don't have to just send out one budget. You have to send out a second budget which takes out discretionary spending, whatever that means, right? What is discretionary spending? The statute doesn't define it. And when you get to that budget meeting, the unit owners at that budget meeting shall consider that lesser budget, right? The one that doesn't go up by 15%. And if you get a majority of all units in the community to vote in favor of the lesser budget goes into effect. If you don't get the majority of the community to vote in favor of it, the higher budget goes into effect.
And we did a whole show on that.
We did a show on it. It is complicated. And I'll say this, we're touching on a million things today, but I'll say this. The amount of work that managers now have to do to maintain, the community, just in terms of records keeping.
Oh, it's
and
outrageous.
Budget and the website. I mean, all of this was thrown at them in the last year or two. And I'll tell you this, there's no way, no how it's going to be possible for managers or management companies to continue to do the work that they do for the same price. It's impossible.
Okay, good
Sometimes
to know.
it's hard to do the work, within a 40-hour week.
Right.
Now you keep piling things, checklists for your records inspections,
Right.
Maintaining the records in a certain manner. It's like
It's a lot.
It's becoming insane.
It's all because of you. But if she didn't have enough people show up for the budget meeting, so they have to redo it?
No, the budget meeting, as long as you get a quorum of the board, that's it. You're good.
Oh.
Right. By the way, you just touched on something. Hang on one second, Celine. So, Vicky Lopez, Representative Vicky Lopez, Rob, you sent me this article, who's the representative that drafted a lot of the laws that came into effect the last 1, 2, 3 years or so. Believe it or not, just voluntarily stepped down from the Florida legislature. That came as a big surprise.
She's like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, and took a seat on the Key Biscayne Council. Yeah, just I think got a little tired and started traveling back and forth to Tallahassee. And I take it that she lives in that area and wound up taking a seat in the council. So, but I will say that she worked very hard, extremely hard.
She did.
As a member of the Florida legislature to pass a lot of new laws, a lot of new safety laws, to help pass reserve laws. And for that, quite frankly, she should always be remembered and thanked.
Thank you,
and
Vicky.
I mean that, absolutely. In the last year or two were things, extras thrown on top that maybe we need to tweak a little bit. Yeah, I think there is, but she worked extremely hard. And I thank her for coming on the show.
Yeah, I remember that.
That show got more hits, I think, than any other. So, former Representative Lopez, thank you, and I wish whatever you choose to do in your career, only the best of luck, health, and success. And again, thank you so much. Okay, how about we take another call, Rob?
Thanks, Celine.
Yes, thanks, Celine. All right, over to Juliet.
Oh,
Juliet, my Juliet.
Hi, Eric. Good morning. I just
morning.
want to say thank you. Everything you said about board members is so true. I am a board member, and right now I should be going to church. I'm outside our subdivision here, measuring to put up some Christmas decorations. So,
right.
and I want to shout out for myself and my other board members, Janice and Keisha. They do an awesome job.
There you go.
And yes, so I thank myself. And but I also want to say
like
that
that.
this is one thing.
Yes.
One thing that all homeowners should have to do is when they're purchasing a property, they should read the covenants, the declarations, the bylaws,
Big
and
time.
the Florida statutes because they don't know anything and they complain about everything.
You are 100% right.
And they're provided when you buy.
Yes, especially people that's
Oh,
never
they are
lived in
provided,
a
yes.
and especially when they haven't lived in this type of a deed restricted community.
Right.
Previously, they're like, I got to comply with all these things. No way. This is my house. This is my castle. And they don't realize, it is and it isn't. When you move into this case law that says this, when you move into this type of community, you give up certain rights that you would ordinarily have in a private home that you wouldn't have here.
Sometimes they
Yes, that does not have an
state law.
HOA. That's what I always tell them. You have to read. You have to understand. And I'm constantly having to tell them, this is a Florida statute. This is a covenant. I'm taking screenshots and sending it. And I'm like, why am I doing it? I'm a homeowner too. So I should know. You should all know the same thing.
Well, Juliet,
so
thank you for serving as a
Juliet.
board member. Thank you for
Oh, you're
calling in, and
welcome.
even though you thanked yourself,
I was going to say,
and
does
your
that
other
count?
Oh, yes,
we'll
that's why I
count it as
said,
one.
when I heard you say that, I'm like, I'm calling to thank myself.
All right, so
We'll
that's
count it as
one.
one. We're still didn't hit the
Because
over
she
yet.
thanked
Right.
other
Okay.
board members.
Yes, yes. Hey, Juliet,
Have
thank
a
you.
good day.
Thank
got
you.
it.
Have a good day. Take care.
Let's
Bye-bye.
take our final break of the hour and see if we can hit 2 at least, right, before we call it a night. I'm taking your call 717-452-9378, or drop us a question or comment in the chat box on YouTube. Back right after this.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project. Visit us online at dmipavingandsealcoating.com.
So welcome back to the final segment of Condo Craze and HOAs, and we would like to tell you to call in now. Don't wait to the very end, because we do have a line of people on the phone. 717-GLAZER8, that's 717-452-9378. Are you thankful for anyone on your board? Even yourself, if you're on the board?
Right, exactly. Maybe some wives are thankful that their husband joined the board and he's in the house less. We'll even take that.
We'll take that.
Right? Okay, back to the phones.
All right, let's go to Carrie in Hollywood.
How are you, Carrie?
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Good morning.
Great show. Great show. Love it. The board calls me the president of your fan club, so just so you know that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we should have a
All
fan
right.
club.
We should. How many times at these
go to
seminars
your-
we
I
do?
always go to the expos for you.
Thank you.
Question is, you were talking about emotional support dogs just a few minutes ago, and we have a dog problem here in our condo. We have a no pet clause in our condo docs, but because the ADA says we have to have the service animals and emotional support animals, a lot of people do not really, what we've been finding is that people just can't take the dogs out in time, and sometimes it's a big problem. And I'm on the board, but I do thank ourselves for the board, but I need to know how we could handle some of these people that have the emotional support animals.
Yeah.
Can we tell them that they have to go?
So it's really, really hard. First of all, just let me make one correction. You mentioned the ADA. The ADA does not apply in residential housing. So what we deal with in residential housing is you have the Federal Fair Housing Act and the Florida Fair Housing Act. Okay, so that's the laws that we deal with. And you say that you live in a no pet community, and the reality is now, guess what? There's really no such thing anymore as a no pet community.
That's why they don't have
So-
handicap parking because the ADA
doesn't apply. That's correct. Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. If you had commercial units in the
Yeah,
condo, like on the first floor,
then
then
they
you
would.
have to have it. But
I see.
you know, the bottom line is it's even if you make any effort to prevent somebody from moving in with an emotional support animal, you have to ask them, okay, we want to see reliable documentation that you do suffer from a disability, how the animal will help alleviate the disability. Even if they don't get it right the first time, eventually they're going to get it right, you know, and they're eventually going to give you that note. Now, can you fight it? Yes, you can fight it, but the bottom line is, like I said, eventually they'll get it right. I remember one funny story. I was taking the deposition of a doctor once, and the doctor prescribed an emotional support animal for someone that he said needed it very badly. And under Florida law, once a doctor prescribes something, a medication or whatever it is, there needs to be follow-up notes to see whether or not
it's working.
Your diagnosis, your prognosis is actually working. So I go to the doctor's office, and I'm going through the doctor's notes, and I see, Doc, I see that you prescribed this emotional support animal 2 years ago. And I'm looking through the patient's chart. I don't see any follow-up whatsoever as to whether or not the emotional support animal is helping your patient in any regard whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Doc, there's a sign that's on the door to your office that says, no animals allowed. Right? Can't make this up. Would you allow the dog into your own office? I would never allow the dog in here. Doc, why'd you write the letter? What do you want from me, Eric? I wrote the letter because I know the patient for a long time. They wanted a dog. Okay, that case I was able to win. That case worked out well, but not every case works out that way. Okay, eventually they're gonna get the letter in a correct form, in a correct fashion, and you're going to be stuck. You're going to have to allow that animal. The law went way too far, quite frankly, but here we are. And until it's changed, there's no such thing as a no-pet community anymore. That's the reality of it.
That's true. The reason why I ask that is that these people, they don't know how to take care of these dogs. And it's, they're like defecating out
Okay,
on the
now let's
property
stop.
or
Okay,
hallways
hold on,
and things
hold
like
on.
that.
That's a
a
nuisance.
wholly separate thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm glad you're heading down this path with me. If let's say someone has an emotional support animal, and if that emotional support animal barks all the time, and the unit owner won't clean up after that emotional support animal, Karen hit it. That emotional support animal is now Brian. Rob, I just lost sound for whatever reason. Oh, I think just lost it. And if that emotional support animal has to go, okay, you can definitely do something to get that emotional support animal out of your community.
You probably need to record the barking and get video of the poop lying on the ground coming out of its ass at that time.
But if you can do that, if you can get that perfect, we're good, buddy. Yeah, if you can get that video, then you can actually keep the dog, kick the dog out of the community, and you can do it. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Eric, really. And happy Thanksgiving to you.
And the same thing to you and yours and your board.
And
Okay?
great shows. I love it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Back to the phones, Rob.
All right, over to Leslie.
Leslie, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Eric. Happy Thanksgiving.
And the same to you.
Hi, thank you.
What's happening?
So, I'm thankful that my board gets along.
That's fantastic.
That doesn't mean that we agree, but we all get along.
What a fantastic call, right?
That is really
right.
good.
I'm
That's
thankful
so
my
good.
board gets along, even when you don't agree. You got a regular Trump Mandami thing going on in your board, right? That's fantastic.
Exactly. We have to go with eggshells. But I wanted to ask something. Our budget is coming up. We're having a meeting, and somebody gave me the proxy.
Somebody gave you their proxy?
Yeah, they gave me a couple of people, and they said, should I put yes?
Okay,
and
so hold on.
Member,
So let me correct your board on something. So the board votes on the budget, not the unit owners. That's number one. Only the board, right? And number two, unless your budget went up by 15%, is it for a second budget?
No, it went up.
Okay, so
was
only
it a
the
director?
board votes
Maybe
on
the
it.
director had.
Can't. You can't vote with proxies.
Okay.
Yeah, directors can't give another director a proxy. But
All
what
right.
that director can do, call in, Zoom in.
Okay.
Right. The director can vote that way, but the director cannot give you their proxy to vote for them.
No, it was unit owners. They gave me the proxy. And
Okay, so then there's confusion because unit owners don't get, and I'm asked this all the time. I really, once a week I'm asked this. Unit owners don't get to vote on the budget.
They only vote on the board.
The budget, okay, vote for board members,
That's
right?
it.
They vote for amendments. They vote for material alterations,
Okay.
things like that. They do not vote for the budget. The budget is voted on by the board. So giving you a proxy is, in all candor, meaningless. Okay?
Wow. So what? Anyhow, so I told them to put yes, but now what about these proxies that I have, and they're going to collect?
Well,
proxies?
you can use them in your Thanksgiving Day fireplace, right? That's the only thing you can use them for, Leslie. But Leslie, we're going to try to take some more calls before we call it a day. So I thank you for listening throughout the year, and I wish you a happy and a healthy holiday.
And I'm glad y'all get along.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Good call. Good call.
Thank God for
Keep
you.
coming, Rob.
Let's go to
Myra.
Myra
Alexander from Palm Beach Gardens.
How are you, Myra?
Hi. I have enjoyed all of your presentations and also your saved ones as well
Thank
that
you.
have
Thank
been
you.
just so informative.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you're watching. And, you know, it's nice. I know a lot of boards watch them together, as a matter of fact.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's awesome. How can we help you?
We have a board of which I'm a member of 5 people. Our president, which we have tried multiple times to get her to include us in board decisions, and she doesn't seem to want to do that. So we want to remove her to director and move a director into the presidency.
Sure.
Easy
very,
enough.
Very easy. Very, very simple.
And all 4 of the other directors are in agreement.
Okay, so it's very, very simple. You just set down a board meeting. All you need is 48-hour notice, actually, to do this, right? And you're going to put on the agenda reorganization of the board, reorganization of the officers, I should say, right? And as soon as that comes up, somebody makes a motion to remove whatever her name is or his name is as the president. And somebody makes another motion to replace her with or him with the following person. And that's it. That took about 8 seconds to do, right?
Simple.
You vote on it. As long as you vote on
So
it.
it does have to be on the agenda.
Put it on the agenda, right? No surprise.
Okay.
Everybody got to know it's coming, right?
Yes, we had tried to do it at our last meeting, and we had told her in advance, and because we wanted to give her a chance to just step off of the board,
Right.
because she's actually contemplating moving anyway.
Well, you know what's
And,
probably going to happen? What happens a lot is she will probably, when she sees it on the agenda coming up, probably won't even attend the meeting.
Okay.
That's my guess. So, you know, doesn't want to go through
Well,
the embarrassment of sitting there and being removed. So that's my guess.
That's what we were trying to avoid. So, but okay. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
that.
so
I
much.
really appreciate it, and
You got
thank
it.
you for this program.
Thank you so much.
But if they have 5 people on the board, and if the docs say you have to have 5 people and she steps down, then they're going to have to
Have
put
4, and then they could replace the board gets to fill the
Okay,
vacancy.
okay.
Exactly. Gusto
Yes,
writes
exactly.
in, hey guys, Priscilla and I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. The same to you, Gusto. Back to the phones, Rob.
All right, let's see. Thank you, Myra. Dropping her. Going to another emotional support.
Oh, come here.
What's going on? It's the holidays. People need emotional support.
There it is. This is
time of
mine.
year.
This is.
There you go. What would you be without that dog? An emotional mess.
I would be a dumpster fire.
All right, who do we got?
Could it be Darren? If you hear a beep, you're live.
Darren.
Yeah, this is Darren. This is Darren Baker. I'm here. Eric, thank you so much for your show and the valuable information.
Thank you very
that
much.
y'all provide every Sunday. It's very helpful.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm calling just to say how grateful I am for the few homeowners who have served with me on our small HOA. It has been a challenge getting homeowners to serve on the board. So we've operated most of 2025 with only 3 of 5 board members.
Hey, it ain't easy, right?
I'm sorry?
It's not an easy job, right?
No, it's not. But all 3 board members have completed the required Florida board certification course.
Good.
But of course, none of us are lawyers. None of us are accountants. None of us are licensed
say this all the
certified
time.
association managers.
Yep.
And
ain't
what's
easy.
made this board extra special for me is the fact that last year in 2024, our association management company came under new management, and the support that we've got from them has really diminished. We've had a lot of material breaches impacting all aspects of our HOA, and despite this, we have gone out and interviewed replacement management companies.
Right.
We interviewed them. We've selected one that's going to be a much better fit for our community, and that was a board effort. The existing board or management company was supposed to help us with a landscaping contract. They failed to do that for us. We went out on our own.
Right.
Interviewed 3 companies. We've had the best service with this contractor than we've had in the last 3 or 4 years.
Now, let me just stop you for
very
1
grateful
second. For the other people
this
that are
board has done and accomplished. And the board also, the management company also left us in a very bad place for our annual meeting of the membership.
Right.
And with all the hard work, we're in a great place now with an agenda, with a proposed budget for 2026. And we've been reaching out to every single homeowner to make sure that they were informed what has happened, what we were doing.
So let me say this. Let me say this. You perhaps were in a position where your contract with the management company allowed you to terminate at some point.
Sometimes.
Now, let me tell you, I get, associations come to me and say, hey, we're not in a good spot with this management company. We'd like to terminate the agreement. And I'll look at it and say, guess what? You have 2.5 years left.
And you didn't consult me when you signed this damn thing.
I mean, now what? So yes, you have the right to complain. And then sometimes there's a provision in the contract that says, well, if you do make a complaint about us, we have 30 days to cure. And the management company is always going to say, we cured. Right. So you really want to have a clause in your contract before you sign that says either party can terminate this contract with 30, 60, or 90 days notice to the other party. Period. Because if that ain't in there, even if you don't like what they're doing, potentially you could be stuck or you can wind up in a long court battle.
And if if they're in control of your website, make sure that you get that.
You get when the relationship's over, you want to make sure all the information's turned over to you.
You're screwed.
So there's a lot to know, but this was a really good call, and it was really nice to hear another person say they're thankful for the people that stepped up in the community.
What are we up to, like 4?
Way to go. Way to go. Thank you so much, and a happy and healthy Thanksgiving to you.
Thanksgiving to you, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who else we got, Rob? Take one more before we call it a day.
I'll add to Karen's comment, get your own website. Don't rely on your property management company's website. Because if they go, it's a mess to migrate that over.
Really? It's hard, to get everything on.
It's an effort. You can just have your own and never have to worry about it.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's go to John.
How are you, John?
Good. Hey, good morning, Eric. Good morning, Karen. Hey, Eric, I got into the show a little bit late, and I hate to do this to you, but I thought I heard you saying something to the effect of HOAs or condos through the a quorum, not a quorum, but a majority of the owners can amend documents. Did I hear that correctly?
No. Someone was complaining that they wanted something on the agenda of a board meeting. You get 20% of the people to petition the board to put an item of business on the agenda. The board is required to put that item on the agenda within 60 days.
But you can have the unit owners vote to amend your document.
If that's what your question is, I see, So someone did have a question, you're right, about amending your governing document.
You can.
So some documents say that you need the board's vote, right? Either a majority vote or a 100% vote of the board in order to do it. But a lot of documents don't require a board vote at all. It just requires a percentage vote of the owners. So even if your board doesn't want to amend your governing documents, they're like, no way.
Can.
Call someone, or you have your group hire an attorney, right? And then let that attorney do the amendment, send it out to everybody in the community, right? Call a special owners meeting. Send out the proxies and count the votes at that meeting. And if that passes at that meeting, as far as I'm concerned, you just amended your documents and it should be recorded.
Eric, I didn't know that. That's great information. I'm going to be looking at those documents this afternoon. And real quickly, you might have commented on this. Did you see the 12-inch cross in the villages?
Yes.
That's exactly what Karen was talking about before.
70 grand.
Resulted, You see how much we covered today before you tuned in, John?
Good Lord, John.
I got to tell you, and by the way, this came up after the call. You're both going to heaven, but be careful. I hear that heaven has an HOA, and St. Peter and St. Paul are tough guys.
Not many lawyers up there, huh?
No.
That I can tell you for sure.
Oh,
I will be
shots
there,
fired.
right? Thanks, John.
You'll be the first.
Thank
All
you,
right, guys.
buddy.
Great show. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's wish everybody a happy and a healthy and a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. Enjoy it. And we'll be here next week, right? Oh, no, we won't be here next week. We're going to take a week off next week. That's right. You're going to be out of town. Your daughter's coming in.
My daughter's
right?
coming
It's
in.
going to be a wonderful Thanksgiving for all of us. We deserve Thanksgiving weekend off. If you need help off the air, please give Glazer and Sachs a call. 954-983-1112. Again, 954-983-1112. It was nice of everybody to call in today and
Yes,
say
thank
some
you.
nice things about us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you keeping us going throughout the year. Okay? Have a wonderful, safe, healthy week, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.